Welcome to Finademy course of Stock Basics. Our topic today is, what are stocks? Use the link in the description to download the app on the App Store for more courses and free practice tests. Number 1. You've probably heard a popular definition of what a stock is. A stock is a share in the ownership of a company. Stock represents a claim on the company's assets and earnings. As you acquire more stock, your ownership stake in the company becomes greater. Unfortunately, this definition is incorrect in some key ways. To start with, stockholders do not own corporations, they own shares issued by corporations. But corporations are a special type of organization because the law treats them as legal persons. In other words, corporations file taxes, can borrow, can own property, can be sued, etc. The idea that a corporation is a person means that the corporation owns its own assets. A corporate office full of chairs and tables belong to the corporation and not to the shareholders. Answer the question. Do stockholders own corporations? A. Yes. B. No. The correct answer is B. No. Number 2. This distinction is important because corporate property is legally separated from the property of shareholders, which limits the liability of both the corporation and the shareholder. If the corporation goes bankrupt, a judge may order all of its assets sold, but your personal assets are not at risk. The court cannot even force you to sell your shares, although the value of your shares will have fallen drastically. Likewise, if a major shareholder goes bankrupt, she cannot sell the company's assets to pay off her creditors. What shareholders own are shares issued by the corporation, and the corporation owns the assets. So if you own 33% of the shares of a company, it is incorrect to assert that you own 1/3 of that company. It is instead correct to state that you own 100% of 1/3 of the company's shares. Shareholders cannot do as they please with a corporation or its assets. A shareholder can't walk out with a chair because the corporation owns that chair, not the shareholder. This is known as the separation of ownership and control. Answer the question. Corporate property is legally separated from the property of shareholders, limiting which of both the corporation and the shareholder? A. Responsibility. B. Ability. C. Profit. D. Liability. The correct answer is D. Liability. Number 3. So what good are shares, then, if they aren't actually the ownership rights we think they are? Owning stock gives you the right to vote in shareholder meetings, receive dividends, which are the company's profits, if and when they are distributed, and it gives you the right to sell your shares to somebody else. If you own a majority of shares, your voting power increases so that you can indirectly control the direction of a company by appointing its board of directors. This becomes most apparent when one company buys another. The acquiring company doesn't go around buying up the building, the chairs, the employees, it buys up all the shares. The board of directors is responsible for increasing the value of the corporation and often does so by hiring professional managers or officers, such as the chief executive officer. Answer the question. Is it true that the board of directors is responsible for increasing the value of the corporation? A. True. B. False. The correct answer is A. True. Number 4. For ordinary shareholders, not being able to manage the company isn't such a big deal. The importance of being a shareholder is that you are entitled to a portion of the company's profits, which, as we will see, is the foundation of a stock's value. The more shares you own, the larger the portion of the profits you get. Many stocks, however, do not pay out dividends and instead reinvest profits back into growing the company. These retained earnings, however, are still reflected in the value of a stock. Stocks, sometimes referred to as equity or equities, are issued by companies to raise capital in order to grow the business or undertake new projects. There are important distinctions between whether somebody buys shares directly from the company when it issues them in the primary market or from another shareholder on the secondary market. When the corporation issues shares, it does so in return for money. Answer the question. The more shares you own, the portion of the profits you get. A. Smaller. B. Larger. C. Same. The correct answer is B. Larger. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for updated videos every week.